It is an exciting day here on my channel because I have just got Planet Coaster for the first time. So let's do this. Right, we better start by just closing the park because we can't have it open when there's nothing here. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, this is all bloody fake. This isn't the first time you've made a park. You're just doing this just to have it seem like a more unique video. And that's not actually true. This is genuinely the first park I've ever built in this game. I've played around on the Coaster Designer before, and if you're subscribed to my second channel, which statistically none of you are, but if you are, then you know that I've already designed 2 coasters, but that's it. This is legitimately the first park I've ever built. This is coming along beautifully. So we're going to have a little lake in the middle. It's going to be wonderful. Oh, just get me environmental textures all nice. Just had a thought, it might be more sensible to have the terraforming and stuff done in time-lapse. Although this being said, this commentary is being recorded live, so I'm hoping that when I hear this, me talking in editing, I'll remember to time-lapse ahead a bit, just so it's not too boring, but you can also see exactly what I'm doing. So like I say, it's really hard to think of things to say about stuff that you don't know you're doing yet. Oh wow, look at that water. It's probably still there by the time this has been filmed. Alright, let's build the entrance. So what I always did in RCT3 was draw out the main paths around the park first, and then I'll add all the roller coasters around those. So let's do that. I feel like that's a good shape. I think just because I want to build some rides, I'm just going to use prefabricated things, prefabricated buildings. Can't be asked to design my own. It's time to build a ride. So I'm going to see if my method of building rides in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 is just as viable in this game, where I start out by building a particular element in the track and then going from there. Looking pretty good so far. This is probably a good time to add a station. Beautiful. So this has turned out pretty well. I must admit. I think yellow would definitely suit it better. I've decided right now that this is going to be a forest theme park, just because I can't be bothered to deal with scenery, and natural elements are just a quick and easy way of making a park look nice. By the way, do people like this style of video? This is always what I've done for Roller Coaster Tycoon, or my 2 Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 videos, where I've kind of built the entire park and then just made the video as an abridged thing. Is this something people prefer, or would you prefer a dedicated series where we cover the ride building in a bit more detail and it's like a part 1, part 2, part 3 like most other channels? I'm really curious to hear your feedback. I'm starting to really passionately hate the path system now. God, look at this. Why isn't it just snap? Like, look at this. What is this? Look, I just want to get a path to that door. So let's just click there. Got a good feeling about... Got a good feeling about this one. This is going to be a giga coaster. It's going to be big, and well, that's as far as I've got so far. And then we'll add up. Wow, that's well good. We've got to incorporate this element. Beautiful. And then we'll just have some like twists and turns, and then we'll just do some little twists and turns, and then bring it back to the station. God, I just love how much more freedom you have in this game. Like, I never really liked building giga coasters in RCT because you could only go sort of up and down and then just turn at 90 degrees. Where you can do so much with this game. It's great. So I think that's like long enough for the main roller coaster part. So we can probably just start bringing the track back to the station now. But that's quite cool. It got a nice little knotted appearance to it. So I'm pretty happy with how this one has turned out. Actually, this is well, it's good. Good. This was a good one. I've accomplished something today. I think we ought to, just for a bit of realism, add a station building. Is that... Oh no, how does this work? Because surely it's not going to be lined up. Oh, this is going to be... It's going to have to settle in for a while. Oh, I see. So you can build it on the station grid. Oh, that makes... Well, that just makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? That makes a lot of sense. Why did I not figure that out? Going for the minimalist design just because I don't want it to clash too much with the natural themes of the park, and also because I really can't be bothered to create anything intricate. It's time to build a wooden one. I'm just going to cut away from live commentary actually and do a time lapse. Basically, if you've seen my RCT3 videos, then what I did for those was I kind of time-lapsed the entire building of the rides, but I tried doing that in Planet Coaster and it ended up just being incredibly nauseating, just because I'm much less, first of all, I'm much less familiar with the building tools in this game, but also the fact that because I'm constantly moving the camera around to fine-tune the banking and things, it ended up just being incredibly sickening to watch because the camera's always lurching around when it's really fast. So I've kind of time-lapsed it here, but not shown the thing in its entirety because I am conscious of this video going on too long since I'm showing the entire build in one video. That's also why, and this is probably really late on to now say this, but if you've seen on screen, there are some annotation cards that take you to the POVs for each ride, just so this video won't drag on forever. But this is the wooden one, and that's it. This POV is my cue to hand the commentary back over to Live Matt. As opposed to Dead Matt. So I'm gonna build this one as like a flying coaster, like Air at Alton Towers, and probably much better ones in America. But Air at Alton Towers is always really cool when I went there when I was a kid, because it was really cool. So basically, for those of you who don't know what a flying coaster is, you're basically lying down, facing the ground, and it's like you're flying, hence flying coaster. But Air is not that good of a ride, really. So I'm gonna do the genre justice. That's what it is. It's a genre. Thanks, Live Matt. That was very insightful, but you were building very slowly, so I kind of time-lapsed that bit of footage as well. But that was a good introduction, and I know that no script in the world could have been better than that phenomenal introduction to the ride, so I thought I'd just leave that bit in. But here we are building a flying coaster. This is a really cool bit. We're going nice and low over the water, and then we shoot up in front of the path so people can take pictures of their friends and relatives on the ride, because that's the sort of thing I think about when designing my parks. Here we are just swinging around. This one actually turned out to be, I think this is probably, it's between this and the wooden one as my favourite ride in the park. Well, between this, the wooden one, and the purple one that is yet to be built. So, you know, remember guys, stick around. Twists and turns literally throughout this entire video. So, yep. What other quick YouTube tropes can I include in? Let's try and get 100 likes. Can we? I'm definitely thinking that red suits this ride better. And then we've kind of built it in this like oval shape, so we can have some flat rides in the middle. And this can be the extreme ride section for hardcore riders. That could have been phrased better, couldn't it? Remember, kids, when you can't be bothered to add your own scenery, just spam a load of trees around, and that looks pretty good. I always like to just paint the terrain as well, just to make the ground look, well, not only just less uniform, it just makes it a bit more realistic rather than just having just one giant slab of green everywhere. I want to do something with this hill that I built. So this one is going to be a homage to my favourite coaster of all time, Nemesis at Alton Towers. Don't really know why it's my favourite, but it does consistently rank quite highly in roller coaster competitions, I think. I don't know. I must admit, I'm a bit out of the loop. Thank you once again, Live Matt, for an outstanding piece of commentary work. But once again, we're back to time-lapse, and most of it was me just sitting there in silence listening to a podcast, so there wasn't much material for me to work with when it came to splicing together bits for a sort of soft time-lapse, more time-lapse montage. So this is me live recording, but just like the live commentary bits, I haven't thought of what to say. I've literally just turned on the microphone in Sony Vegas, and I'm now winging it. But yeah, I mean, the thing with Nemesis what it was it's built into like a little cavern, and it weaves in and out of the ground and through tunnels and things. And this is very, very soon. In fact, it's the same color as Nemesis at the moment. I do change the color towards the end because I do want it to be, you know, somewhat unique to me. But yeah, here we are. This turned out quite nicely actually. This little heartline roll towards the end, but. Yes, this is Venom, and purple ended up being the colour I chose for it. You know, when I said earlier that the purple one, the red one, and the wooden one are my favourites of this park. There you go. So you can stop watching the video now, to be honest. No, don't do that. But yeah, here we are, just again, spam it with trees if you can't be asked to do scenery like me. Maybe once I've got more confident with this game, and maybe, I mean, once this video goes viral, which I can get, I'm certain it will. I mean, you know, all my non-Kerbal videos do really well, don't they? Yes, but we're on a POV, which is my cue to hand you back over to Live Matt. I wonder what he'll be talking about. Probably better things than this. Sorry, I was choking a bit there. And we've put some rides around Venom. So it's kind of like another hardcore set. Gotta have me trees, gotta have me trees. So we've added like dodgems, but I think we need to fill this gap a little bit more in between the red one and the purple one because it's annoying me. There we go. So in my determination to not build my own buildings, I'll just add some more prefab shops because the guests are complaining about being hungry and thirsty. The whinging bastard. So this ride is going to be much smaller in scale compared to the other coasters. It's actually inspired by a Kinect's roller coaster I saw on YouTube. I don't know why it was suggested to me, called Clockwork, which was a great video, and it inspired me to make a really sort of twisty, tangly, knotted roller coaster. So this is back to not non-live commentary now whilst I time-lapse it, but yeah, like I say, this roller coaster didn't end up being that great in terms of ratings. Like, its fear rating was incredibly high, proportionate to everything else, but it's still a decent excitement and things, and nausea wasn't too bad, so, you know, it turned out alright. I know this is more of a niche market coaster, really, those looking for a real fear factor experience rather than an overall sort of, you know, good ride, if that makes sense. There's a quote that's going to go on the poster, isn't it? But as before, click the annotation on screen to ride the POV. There is also a link in the description, by the way, if you're on mobile or can't see the annotation for whatever reason. Yeah, that's the end of that thought process. And we must move on to the next ride. Doesn't hurt to just have a junior coaster for the kids, you know. I'm thinking about all demographics here. And that actually does it for live, Matt. I hope it didn't disappoint too much. But yeah, this is the construction of the final coaster, and probably the least interesting from a sort of technical standpoint, because it is junior coasters are quite limited, and you can't be too. I didn't want to be too aggressive with the design because it is designed for kids. So we can skip past most of this, but in terms of general completeness, that is pretty much the park done. So I used it. I used a couple of things, like a couple of drinks shops from the Steam Workshop, but other than that, I only used the stock structures, and I just built very basic stations. I think anyone could build with very little time and patience. So, you know, this has been an inspiration when you play Planet Coaster. I mean, you've probably made much better parks than this, but this is the first park I've ever made, so legitimately as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more Planet Coaster, do let me know. Because it is something that I am really enjoying, and I would really happily make more videos of it. In addition to Kerbal Space Program, this wouldn't just become a Planet Coaster channel. But yeah, leave any feedback below. And I still haven't come up with... I know it looks like it's starting to become like a running joke that I don't have an outro for these videos. I'm not even trying to make it a running joke, I just have no idea what I'm doing. But on screen now there is a link to take you to the POV videos, which if you haven't watched them already, just so you can ride these rides. And yes, I'm rambling now, so enjoy and goodbye.